I probably put a little bit more value into the muscle load or the internal load than I do the external load. I obviously look at both, but I kind of know, depending on the time of year, what the ratios of those two things should be. If we're in the off season, they should be pretty close to equal, or even internal load maybe a little higher, just because we're maybe a little bit more out of shape. We're trying to get into shape. And I don't have any competitions coming up. We don't have to compete at a high level. We're just training. So that's kind of that time frame. Once we get into the in season, I want to see our internal load lower than our external load, or our muscle load lower than our external load. As I'm looking at individual guys or even team, and I see the muscle load creep above our external load, or I see it equal, I start asking questions. Are we coming off, did we just come off of a game? We practicing the day after a game? Did we have, 4 games in 6 days, or what are the reasons behind that? Or is it because of practices are too difficult, or our recovery habits not appropriate? So between that, and then utilize the surveys, the RPE surveys and the wellness surveys as well, to kind of get a more clear picture for each individual guy. Maybe we're not sleeping, maybe we have a high academic load, maybe our nutrition and our hydration isn't on point with a lot of that. So I can kind of make assessments that way with the muscle load. I think that's and then from like right to left symmetry, glute hamstring quad ratios. Then I do that a little bit more of an individual basis. So I'll look at like 3, 7, or 14-day averages on both of those, symmetry and muscle groups. So if I see a right to left issue with symmetry in a direction over those time frames, or it's been consistent, I start to ask questions again, whether it's an injury or an overuse thing, or it could be a number of things. Otherwise, with the hamstring, quad, glute, like just the proportion of usage, right to left, and the total. With that, obviously trying to mitigate any soft tissue injuries and stuff like that. So, with a few of our guys in the past, I've seen issues with both of those where, they're high quad or high hamstring or high glute. And then I start to ask questions and decide, discern whether or not it's, tightness or overuse or what that might be. And then I use my expertise along with our athletic trainers. And then we try to mitigate that. And we usually can be ahead of those types of things. We haven't really had a soft tissue injury in the last 2 years that I can recall. The right to left symmetry has proven to be very valuable in finding injuries. We found like a turf toe. We found kind of the start of a stress fracture ahead of time, where instead of, we're not just waiting for it to happen, we have some information, and we can start asking questions and solve some problems ahead of time.